have you ever been on? Have you listened to the show at all? No. Okay, that's okay. That's okay.
I haven't had a chance to.
Yep.
Usually, I'm getting prepped and stuff to get ready for mine.
No, don't even sweat it. Don't even sweat it. So what we do, the format of the show basically is we start out with talking about your channel. We'll do about that for about a half hour. I got a bunch of questions that I've kind of ask everybody. And then we're going to talk about gaming news. The second half of the show is going to be talking about gaming news that happens throughout the week. That has happened throughout this last week. So I hope you like talking about video games because that's what we're doing. I mean, we all play them. I figured it'd be one of those things that like every single streamer should know enough about video games to be able to talk a little bit about them and have some sort of opinion. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Albeit I don't know much about many video games, but I know about the ones that I play at least. So
you do have opinions though, correct?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then you'll be just fine. Don't even sweat it. All right. So I'm gonna start my little intro here. Welcome to Chatterday. My name is Dave_Loudon, and you're listening to episode number 8 of my podcast. Where each week I introduce you to a new and awesome small streamer. We talk about their channel, who they are as a person, and if we have time, some different game news from the past week. If you are watching this live on twitch.tv/Dave_Loudon, stick around after the interview and watch us play a few hours of games. Our guest today is the potty mouth Aussie turned Texan. Did I get that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
KalaTheFox. I love
don't think I've quite been described like that, but it fits.
It does. It does. You can use that. Although I will need a royalty fee if you do. So I have already copyrighted it.
I'll send you a penny a month.
No, you see, I try to watch the people who come on, I try to watch their channel a little bit throughout the week and get an idea for who they are, and then try to make up something kind of funny there. Anyways, let's kick this off right. I have a couple Australian friends, and I hear they're a big fan of shoeys. Is that what
That's a Western Australian thing.
That's a Western Australian. Oh, so you're not a fan of the shoey?
I was too young to even do a shoey when I left Australia.
Oh, you're never too young to do a shoey. Never.
I was 5.
Never too young. Never.
I had to bang my bottle.
Get out your grape juice. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I was gonna do a shoey, but now maybe I won't. We'll see. It might happen sometime. I'm drinking on stream today because during the morning streams I drink coffee. During the night streams I drink beer because it makes it more fun. Yeah. So, anyways.
I mean, I could go get my scotch.
Oh, if you want to drink, that's up to you. You know, we could really make this a good time.
I don't need booze to make it a good time. I'm already shitty in the head. It's all right.
As are we all. We are all damaged, my friend. That's why we're doing this right now instead of normal things. So,
pain bramage. Yes.
Yes, lots of that. So, let's just get right into this. Here's the first question I absolutely ask everyone when they come in. If you watch this regularly, you probably already know this, but go ahead and give me like the elevator pitch on your channel. Like, what's your channel about? Like, what do you do? You know, what is your channel, basically?
All right. My channel is basically about how girl gamers can play. I'm not the best at it, but we can definitely get out there and hold our own sometimes. And just having a heap of fun.
Yeah.
Get with my mates, and just... Excuse me a moment. I need to do one thing.
No, you're good. You know, he can come say hi. I love this. This always happens. Tell him he has to come say hi. Get him out of here.
Unless you want to come say hi.
He can.
To, like, the entire world.
Yep. No?
Apparently not.
A couple weeks ago, we had... last week when I had Tactical Penguin on, she had her husband show up, and it's like, bring him out here. And the week before that, it's like, Azari that I was with had his dad come on, and I just make a thing out of it now because it happens. I love it.
Oh. I've lost you.
Oh, you've lost me? Am I
it
back?
was muted for a second there.
Oh, am I back?
I don't know. Yeah, you're back.
I'm back. Okay,
all right.
Cool.
So, anyways, the whole premise is I just go out there and have a good time, even if I play like absolute potato. That's kind of the tagline of my stream is I am a potato at gaming.
Okay, that's good.
I don't pretend that I'm good at it. but I'm trying.
Yeah.
And I'm looking to learn and I'm looking to do my best, but don't expect, high level gameplay. And it works out.
Well, I think with that, it's a lot of it's personality and just making sure that you're having fun. Because either you gotta, I mean, with Twitch, I found you either have got to have a personality or you've got to be good at games. You can't, or in best case scenario, both. But if you're boring or you're bad at games, Twitch is a rough life, I've found. So that's really cool that you're just out there kind of doing your thing. Is there anything else that in your channel, like what makes your channel unique? I guess is another question I kind of like to ask.
What makes it unique?
And remember, you're plugging your channel here. This is all about you. So don't feel like like, oh man, I gotta be like, this whole part's all about you. So
yeah, I know. What makes it unique is that I'm just there, and I will crack jokes with anybody and anyone.
Yeah.
And I want people to have a good time, and I know that that's kind of generalized, and a lot of people want that in their channel. We open our doors to all walks of life. I don't care, what kind of music people like, what kind of political beliefs they have, because we don't talk about hardcore beliefs of anything.
Yeah.
It's you come here, you vibe, you have a good time.
Yeah.
And that's it. And the only one thing that I really crack down absolutely on is don't tell me I can't do something because I have tits.
That is, honestly, that just goes on the same category of like everyone with video games, and this is what I love about them. Absolutely everyone is on a level playing field. I hate it when you get those typical like alpha male type assholes who just think they're better than everyone else and that women can't compete with them, because honestly that is not true. Like, we all have thumbs that work. And actually, if you ask me, women, it's been proven with like NASCAR, it's been proven in fighter jets, they actually have better reflexes than men in a lot of instances. So it's really super unfair, and I think that's one of those macho stereotypes that really needs to die in video game. Like, oh man, I got beat by a girl. Well, it's like, dude, like, yeah, you did, because they're just as good as you. There's nothing in video games they can't do that you can. So it's kind of, I don't know where that whole mantra came from, probably just because gaming in general has been fairly male dominated for the past 30 years, but it really does need to die. It needs to die because it's absolutely insane. It's crazy.
That's why I'm looking to grind. It's going to take a couple of years, but I'm looking to grind up to GC just so I can say, yeah, I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what...
And then I can say they got beat by an old lady.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you on that. I can't keep up with like the young tryhards, you know what I mean? Like, damn, I just can't. But it's fun to try. It makes you better at the end of the day. So what games do you play on your stream?
I play Rocket League, I play Valorant, I play Valheim, I play Forza, play Fortnite a little bit. That's a rarity. I've got so many games installed. It's insane.
What's like your main game? What's your go-to game, do you think?
Rocket League.
Rocket League?
100%. Yep.
Do you play that almost every night, like at some point, or is it just one of those things where, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Beat Saber and Rocket League are the two main games on my stream.
I absolutely adore Beat Saber. When I first ran into you, when I think it was I gave you a Zari told me to raid you when I first ran into you. I saw you were playing Beat Saber and I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. I absolutely love Beat Saber. It's one of those games that is like, if you have a VR headset of any type, that should be the first thing you play, because people don't. I think people don't understand what VR is until you actually strap on that headset, and you want to make sure when you do strap on that headset, you have a good experience. Look at my dog back here. This is.
He's like making a nest.
He's making a little nest, and it's okay. There's his butt. There's my dog's butt. Everybody. I think I saw some beehole. Anyways, but yeah, it's one of those games that you want to make sure that you fully understand what VR is, and I think that's one of those games that really leave him be. I think it's one of those games that really shows you what VR is in a nutshell. It really utilizes VR to the best of its ability. You have full 360 movement. You can look up, down, around. When you move, the camera moves. You're holding something that you can look at and see and feel that like, depending on your headset, actually feels like you're holding a sword. I mean, it feels like
There's-
you're holding a sword. And then when you
There's actually a haptic feedback
yeah,
when you
absolutely.
hit the blocks too.
I was
So when
just
you
gonna say
actually
that.
make contact with it, it's like, yes!
Yeah, it feels so good when you slice through those blocks. They just melt away, and you actually feel like you're hitting them. And it's, I don't know, everything about that game is just so well made. The soundtrack is amazing. They have songs for everybody. They have like generic songs. They have Green Day. They have Linkin Park. They have all sorts of crap on there.
Imagine
K-pop.
Dragons, BTS.
Yep.
What else do they got?
Don't they
Trying
have
to go through my
Pitbull? Was Pitbull on
memory.
there? Did I see that? Am I imagining that?
No,
No, I thought it was. That could have been me.
not unless it was in a pack mixed in with someone.
Ah, man, I thought it was.
I haven't seen it. Now, I have seen a lot of custom tracks. A lot of custom tracks.
Oh, really? Is that a PC thing?
Mm-hmm. Steam, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, you Oculus users, fret not. Get the link. Then you can go through Steam.
Oh, is that a new headset, the Link, or is that? Oh, geez.
No. If you have like a Quest or a Quest 2, you can get the link cable and it will connect your Oculus to the computer and basically turn it into a Rift.
Okay, that's interesting. That's my biggest complaint about well, I don't have a Quest, but one of the crazy things about the Quest is that you actually have to link your Facebook account to it. Like Facebook and Quest
That's Oculus in general.
one and the same. And so I've heard horror stories of people like getting banned from their accounts because someone hacked into it, and then they lose their entire game library. They lose absolutely everything that they've paid for with their headsets. And to me, that is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Because as we all know with Facebook, they are terrible with customer support. Like, terrible.
I've had my Facebook account for about, oh my goodness, 10, 12, 13 years. I got it when Facebook first came out.
Yeah.
And I've never had a problem
Yeah.
with Facebook. And you can block anybody seeing what your actual Facebook account name is
Oh, okay.
in the privacy settings.
Well, yeah.
So I've got it linked to my main Facebook account because, yeah, I've got two.
Yeah.
But the other one, because it's only set to Kala and it's not a real name, it has a chance to get banned for real name bullcrap.
Oh, interesting.
So they aren't doing that nearly as much, but there was a time when, yeah, they could have banned everybody for, unless you can have a driver license or an ID with that name on it.
Oh, that's weird. That's bizarre. Yeah, Facebook is so weird with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
But the long and short of it is I have it blocked to where nobody sees what Facebook account it's actually logged into.
Yeah. Okay, well
And so I don't have to worry about it.
that's good at least, is that you don't have to worry about it. Hopefully, like, you don't ever, something else doesn't happen to that account outside of the whole Rift economy, and then you just get screwed, you know what I mean? But
I'm actually going to be upgrading to an Index soon, so
there you go. No, that's probably, what is it? The Index is really good, and so is the Valve one. What's that called? I can't remember
the
what.
Valve Index and the Vive.
Oh, the Index. That is it. The Index is the good
Yeah.
one. Is the Valve one? Yeah, and then the VV is the other one by Samsung, Panasonic, something like that. I can't remember who made that one, but there's so many headsets. I rock the PSVR, so it's not the best VR experience. I will say that, but it's still pretty incredible, and it still works really well.
It's serviceable, but you won't be able to do the high-level Beat Saber tracks because it does not have the capability to process that many blocks as quickly.
Yes, the tracking isn't as good either for stuff like that. So
Exactly.
I get a lot of like jitters of the Sabers. You know what I mean? Like they just jitter out for some reason, or they turn a different way just because the tracking's off. So it's serviceable, but it's not the best. They actually were talking about a PSVR 2 very recently. Sony came out and said, hey guys, we're actually committing to VR and making a VR 2 that's going to hook up to your PS5. So I am actually very excited about that because that will probably be top end once that comes out. And I already have a bunch of VR games. So I'm excited to see where that leads. But anyway, so, So what would you say is your all-time favorite game? Not like the game you play the most, but like your all-time favorite game.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're talking to someone who has thousands of games under the belt.
I know, but there's got to be one that just either for nostalgic reasons or a game that you just, your favorite game. Because I know normally, like, when people talk about their favorite game, they go back to it and they think about it, and then they're like, oh, this is my favorite game, but you usually ask them, well, when was the last time you played it? And they're like, I don't know, like 8 years ago, you know what I mean? Like, but it's still their favorite game because of the memories they have associated to it. So
the first game that pops to mind of games I spent way too much time on outside of streaming and just this predates the bloody internet.
Yeah, that's okay.
The original Star Fox.
Heck yeah. No, don't be ashamed of that one. That's a great pick. That's fantastic. Like
I absolutely adored that game. And it was the first game to really utilize the shoulder buttons of the Super Nintendo. And
in a meaningful way.
In an absolutely meaningful way. And it actually, I can't remember if it predated Super Mario Kart, which did use the shoulder buttons for the drift.
It did not.
Okay. But, okay, you can power slide with it.
Yeah.
That's fine, but it was the first flight
to a barrel roll
game.
You know what I mean?
To let you do a bloody barrel roll.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. Do it. That became a household phrase because of that game. Like, do a barrel roll. You know what I mean? Like, I'd say that. I'd run around with my friends being like, do a barrel roll when I was a kid, because I love that so much. Fun fact about that game, too. It was one of the first games to use the FX chips for the Super Nintendo. So I've been talking a little bit about carts lately on my podcast, and last week we talked a little bit about 64 cartridges. This week, let's just talk a little bit about Super Nintendo cartridges because I think this is really interesting. So the technology with the cartridges for the Nintendo especially is they have their main base unit, right? And then they put the cartridge in the top, obviously. But the cartridge is what held like all the RAM, all the memory, all like basically like the guts of it, basically. So like the base unit itself is actually pretty basic, but once you put the game in, that's where a lot of it came together. And that's why games traditionally cost so much back then and cartridges cost so much manufacturer. Well, that was one of the first games to use the FX chip. So they actually put a chip inside the cartridge that made it 3D capable and gave it the ability to make it look actually 3D. So if you predate that, all the cartridges didn't have that technology in them to make them look the way that they did, to make games give them that 3D look. They were all very 2D. And so it's pretty interesting. Like, I think Donkey Kong had the same type of chip in it, but it's really cool how through the life cycle of those systems, those older systems, they didn't even worry about upgrading the base like we do now. We're like, oh, upgrade your PlayStation to a PS Pro. All they had to do was upgrade their cartridges, and then they could have whole new different types of experiences. So it's kind of crazy how gaming has changed since those days, I feel like. But I don't know. I have to say that Super Nintendo is one of my favorite all-time consoles. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love going back on the Switch and like playing those their library of Switch games. I wish they library of Super Nintendo games. I wish they put a ton more on there. Like a ton more, because they don't have nearly enough. And so, I don't know. What's your opinion on the Super Nintendo?
The problem with being an older system, and it makes me very sad, is there's games there that you want to play, and again, all that technology was in the cartridge.
Yeah.
Your save games were also on the cartridge.
Yes, they were.
The battery.
Absolutely.
And if that battery dies,
yes, it
so
could.
do your games.
It absolutely could. Absolutely. 100%. And a lot of them now have died to the, like you could go back and pull out those old cartridges, and that's 100% true.
Yeah, because they just trickle out. They just fade away.
And then, well, go ahead.
No. It's just sad.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, and I think that the Super Nintendo was the last Nintendo console to do that, because the 64 had the save packs that you could get that were just little memory cards. That you put them in the back of the controller.
No, Nintendo 64 still did that because one of the Zelda games had that problem.
Oh, really?
It's a golden cartridge.
Really?
Ocarina of Time.
Really? I thought, because since you had
Yeah.
the memory pack that you slammed in the back, that's where you saved all your games, I thought.
No, that just gave it was a RAM boost, is what the memory pack was. It wasn't for saving games.
What?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because they had the RAM thing in the front of the console. It was like a little that you could upgrade. It was like a little cartridge you actually put in the front of your console.
Little black
Yeah.
thing in the secret panel. Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing.
That's what upgraded the RAM. And I thought the thing in the back was actually so you could take save games on and off.
I don't think so. Because the Ocarina of Time cartridge had the same bloody problem as any of the other ones.
I'm going to have to plug mine in now, because now I'm very curious as to what's going on in there.
I'm curious too, because I've never heard of it.
I busted it out last week. I've got my Nintendo 64 just sitting back there. I've had it out for a couple weeks back there. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. Not like get rid of it, but I need to store it somewhere. So I've got...
Put it on the capture card and play something.
That's a great idea. I probably should. I really thought about it. Well, I have like Donkey Kong 64, 1080 snowboarding, both
Tricky.
Zeldas. Tricky?
Oh,
SSX Tricky. Yes. I actually played SSX for PS3 on stream not long ago, and that was a lot of fun.
best soundtrack ever.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, the game does not hold up well. I'm not going to lie. I really was like, wow, this isn't what I remembered. I almost kind of wish I wouldn't have gone back and played it, because now I'm like, oh, this is definitely a very much so PS2, PS3 type of game. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But it's still brought back that nostalgia. And I think if I actually got back into it a little bit, I'd get used to it. It's just controls and controlling things have gotten so much more technical and so much more smooth and precise since those days, that going back and playing a snowboard game like that, where you have to have really quick movements, precise controls, it feels really sloppy. And I don't know if it's just the programming or they just didn't have it down yet or what, but
I think it was the first attempt outside of Tony Hawk that they really tried to move and up and raise the bar.
yeah, I feel that. It make it more, well, they're trying to make it more like a video game and less like an actual sport. You know what I mean? Because like anyone can go snowboard, but like SSX, like you're flying through the air, you're doing tricks, you're popping your board off and like, throwing it over your head and whipping it around and like, dude, it's so fun. It was really fun. And SSX for PS3 had a lot of the same elements of Tricky, so it was really, it was a treat. It was a treat to go back and play it. Have you played that new Tony Hawk 1+2 at all? Oof.
I have not.
Oof.
I want to.
You're missing out.
I want to.
You're missing out.
The nostalgia bug is chewing on me, going, you want to. It's like, but I have grinded. Sorry.
No, it's one of those games where you pop it in, and I've played it on stream a couple times. You pop it in, and it's like they've updated it just enough so that you feel like you're playing a game that you did back then, but it feels like a current game. You know what I mean? Like you're not sitting there fighting the controls or this or that, or like it doesn't feel weird because it feels, like too much like an old game. They updated it just enough so that it feels like the old game, but it still feels tight and tuned in, and it's so good. So very good. I highly recommend playing that. Just picking up a copy. It's like a $40 game max, I feel like. But it's so much fun. It's so much fun. Anyways, let's try another question here. I've got a whole list of them. What has been your greatest success so far with your streaming, do you think?
Oof. Greatest success with stream. I would say not absolutely losing my mind when I got raided by McLando.
Oh. Oh, okay. Very cool. How many people were in that raid?
1,640.
1,640.
Yes.
1640. Dang.
Yes.
That's intimidating.
I had like 30 people watching at the time, which was a pretty big stream
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah.
And then he just absolutely blasted down on me with this massive raid. All I got was one message, and my damn notification didn't go off.
Dang.
All I heard was prepare yourself, and then like 10 seconds later, my chat is just going nuclear with raid
Wow.
notifications of people blowing up my chat. And I'm just like, Lando, you son of a bitch.
How do you?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, how many followers did you get out of that? Do you think?
I think I got like 40.
40? That's still pretty good. That's really good.
It's not bad. A lot of them were lurkers. Like, it was
Yeah.
actually really quiet. After that initial blast,
Yeah.
they all went quiet. So it was actually pretty easy, considering I only had like 1 or 2 mods at the time.
Yeah. So, oh man, if that happened to me, I'd be screwed because I've got Juno who shows up all the time for me, and that's about it. That's my mod right there. And so, like, I don't have a lot of moderators coming in and being like, doing this, that, you know, like,
Yeah.
I think
I end up modding so many different channels.
okay, I love this question because it always puts people on the spot. Who is your favorite mod? And just hope they're not watching.
Who is my favorite mod?
Yeah.
Unknown Ryan.
Unknown
100%.
Ryan, 100%. Okay, very cool, very cool. Give it up for
Yeah.
Unknown Ryan. I love it. Is he a streamer
Yeah.
too, or is he a?
He does.
He does. Okay, cool. And he just comes
Yeah.
in and helps you out.
He does. he starts streaming at about like 3-4 o'clock in the morning,
Oh, okay.
Central Standard Time. He's in Tasmania.
Oh, okay.
So he pops in before his stream, kind of keeps an eye on me, and then he trots off and goes and does his.
His stream, nice. And then you probably raid
Yeah.
him every once in a while. I'm assuming with keep
Occasionally,
the
yeah.
vibes
Or I'll
up.
raid his wife or his friend.
Yeah, fair. That's awesome. That's really cool.
He's like a brother to me.
Oh, that's really cool.
So,
it's nice when
yeah.
you have reliable mods. It makes things a lot better. Who's that? Tell him to come over here. Come say hi.
That would be my flatmate.
What's up?
I'm-
What's up, flatmate? Let's see. What was one of the best things you did to grow your following?
I think my long streams tend to do that the most.
Oh, okay.
When I do 24, 36-hour streams. Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just tend to go and go.
Oh, wow. You said 26 to 34-hour streams.
24 to 36, but yeah.
Wow. Like, how do you start feeling after 24 hours of streaming?
Honestly, I just go until I get really tired. Like, if I've got a monster, and one monster will last me for 24 hours because I nurse the bloody thing.
Dang.
And I just keep that little level.
Yeah.
And it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm vibing on a game, that's the beauty of, my brain. If I'm active and focused, I don't notice the time.
Oh, okay.
I just go.
You just keep going. That's great. How many different games do you think you play in that sort of time frame?
My 36-hour stream that I did, I played one.
What'd you play for 36 hours?
Forza Horizon 4.
Okay.
I was on a mission.
So did you play the PC or Xbox version of that?
At the time, that was on PC.
It's on PC. Okay. Are you an Xbox? Do you have an Xbox?
I do have Xbox for the Forza now because it doesn't bloody play well on the PC.
Oh.
It crashes when you try and stream.
Do you have the Series X or do you have the one?
Just the one.
This one. Okay. Very cool. Yeah. I've never been big into Xbox. I love what Xbox is doing though. I love that what they're doing with their ecosystem and with their Xbox Games Pass, and it makes me want to be a part of that ecosystem, but I'm so just entrenched in Sony. I'm riding that Sony pony so hard. It's not even funny. You know what I mean? Like, I just absolutely love PlayStation, and I literally have 200 to 300 games on PlayStation easily. And so it's hard for me to switch over to a different ecosystem when I'm so invested in this one. But do you do Xbox Game Pass at all?
I do.
You do? Okay. So you have Okay, so you have access to my favorite game then, Dead by Daylight. And I tell everyone to give that game a try. No? No?
I've tried it.
Okay.
I know. I've had so many people like, oh, you should try it.
It's so fun. It's one of those games that is super easy to get into and then master. I've been playing this game for a year and I still have not even come close to mastering it. Like, It is the nuances in that game and the way that you have to like loop the killer and then be actually being the killer, and the nuances there, and it's like the different perks and what you need to do. It's just way too much fun.
Yeah.
I'm way too.
I
into that game.
watch Fun Goose play all the time.
Okay.
He's one of the top tier players. He plays both killer and survivor, and he does educational videos.
And oh yeah, no, I've never watched it. I do watch videos online a little bit because you kind of have to with that game to learn that game. You really need to sit down and watch a couple of videos about certain ways to loop the killer and like how to avoid stuff, and it's a lot of map memorization and a lot of knowing which perks to use. I don't know the maps.
I'm currently learning the maps on Valorant.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't need to add more maps to try and
there's so many maps too. So many maps. And you have to know like where the pallets are, and like, because you can loop the killer in a certain spot, but then once he gets to a point where you can't loop into that spot, either because he busted the pallet there or something like that, you need to go to the next spot. And as a killer, I've had someone just literally, you can't do this as a killer, by the way. This is when I first started killing, but I've literally just followed someone around the map as they looped me, doing certain things and taking me to the next spot to loot me, and then the next spot to loot me. And it's things like that that's absolutely insane. That if you're here, oh my gosh, they're giving 7 gifted subs in the channel. What?
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 Oh, look at you.
7 gifted subs in the channel. Oh, okay. She just gave one to Juno. Okay, I see. But Jess, thank you so much for doing that. How are you, by the way? So, Jaffa is another person in my stream. I don't know if you see her in there, but she, she plays a lot of DBD with me, and she actually lives in Australia, by the way. So she's one of my, loves, nice. Honestly, I said I was going to do it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm good. How are you? I'm really good. I'm actually really good. So here's what we're going to do. We gotta switch over to the second part of the podcast where we talk about game stuff. So
all right.
Here's how we're gonna break this up. Do you have anything else that you want to say about your channel? Anything else that you do uniquely? Anything else that you want to get out there about yourself and what's with you?
I do viewer games occasionally, and I'm always open to learn from high-end players. So I have no problems playing with any level, whether it be, Supersonic Legend or Bronze. It doesn't matter.
All right. Hear that, Sherpas? Hit her up. Hit her up, you Sherpas. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do now is, because everybody loves it when I do a shoey, and I think it's appropriate since, I guess you moved here early from Australia, but you can still tell that you're from there. My friend Jaffa is here, and she loves this, so I'm going to do a shoey. Let's do this, everybody. Because why not? Because why not? This is how we do it. We got the shoe.
Right.
We got the E. Oh, God. It's been a minute. Oh, man. Does everybody hear that filling up? Good Lord. All right. We're not going to do a full shoey, but we'll do a little bit of one. All right. You ready, everybody? I really thought you'd be more into this. I'm really disappointed that you're not. I plan things. Oh God. Okay.
Truth be told, I'm not much of a beer girl.
Oh no.
I'm a hard liquor girl. I do scotch.
I'm open to wine shoeys. You know what I mean? Like, if that would change your mind. All right.
No, you drink your beer, mate. Yeah. Oh. I'll do it straight from the silver pillow.
Oh, that's so bad. Why do I do that to myself? It tastes like bad leather. Not good. I don't recommend the leather shoe for the shoey, by the way, everybody. But you got to do what you got to do. Oh my God. Love to do that every once in a while. I thought about making that a channel point, but then I feel like it happened way too often. So
you'd have to have a dedicated shoe for that.
I kind of do. It's a used shoe because it doesn't count if it's not a used shoe, but I do have, it's kind of like, joggers. I'm not using joggers for a shoey. That just won't happen. No, thank you. Work shoe is not an appropriate answer for that either, because that would, if you saw my work shoes, that'd be, I'm a waiter. So like my shoes are,
oof,
that would not be good.
Yeah.
Not be good at all. No leather for a shoey. Jaeger shoey out of Jordans. I know. Jess, you're also insane, though, with the shoeys. I can't keep up with you. I feel my shoey complex feels inferior when you're around, but I do what I can. You know what I mean? I use
Oh,
the bartender shoe. Oh.
oh, that's even
Ooh.
worse. That's even worse.
No.
I hate feet, so there you go.
You don't even
There's
like
the three of it.
shoes. You don't even like shoes in the first
I
place.
don't like shoes. And you can't do a shoey from a thong. It doesn't work. Maybe use it as a sluice.
Yeah, oh, there you go. Just do shots from it. That would still be disgusting, because if I know anything about flip-flops, they're dirty as fuck. So, that would be no bueno. Oof. Okay, well, that was fun. Now I'm going to have a stomach ache. Let's see here. Next. So, we're moving on to the next part of our my podcast, where we're going to start talking about a few things. I'm going to read, like, part of an article from a, part of a news article, and then we'll kind of chat about what's going on with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about your channel points real quick, because I have a lot of really good channel points. Like, what's your favorite channel point that you do, since we're still haven't moved on quite yet?
I think that the most popular ones are my favorite, and that's the sound bites.
Sound bites, okay. Where it's just like people give up their bits and it just says little sounds that come on. That's actually pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know Siri loves one in particular, because he comes in and he plays it all the time. That's like his walk-in, I swear.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's that's the first thing when we raid you. The first thing he did was play that one, and I forget what's it say again.
I knew that.
Please do the voice. Please do the voice as well. No, I'm just kidding.
It's hello, motherfucker.
I love it. Hello, motherfucker. Azuri's in my chat. He's all like saying he already said it. Hello, motherfucker.
Oh, I knew what it said.
Oh,
I know
awesome.
exactly what you want. I've got several on there, but the most popular one is the hello, motherfucker.
I love it when people have the text to speech like channel point redemptions. Those are always fun. I need to get that working on mine. I got to figure out how to do that. Because those are always,
I'm afraid people would spam it.
They do.
What?
I think one of my favorite ones is like, I always like to go into people who have text to speech and go, the helicopter goes, and then just put a bunch of CHs, so it goes.
Yep.
Yeah. And then it does that for like 5 minutes. It's pretty fun. So the first thing we're going to talk, are you a Pokemon fan? Do you like the Pokemons?
I have not followed Pokemon too much.
Okay.
But I know the originals,
Okay.
and I know some of the later generations, but I'm not as familiar with them as I am the originals.
Okay. Yeah.
As stated before, I am a bit older.
That's okay. You don't need to be ashamed of that. Me too.
As much. It didn't come out till after I was out of school.
Pokemon didn't?
Pokemon did not.
Nice. There you go. So
that should tell you.
No, that's good. That's good. So a new Pokemon game is an open world story set in feudal style Shinon region, Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I think is a weird name. So Nintendo is, let's see, one of the coolest aspects of the new game is the trainers. Okay. Whoa. Let's start this over. Nintendo is celebrating all things Pokemon today as one of the announcements shows off that the latest game in the iconic franchise, a title that takes a page from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, with a stunning open world set in the Shinon region of Generation 4. The latest Pokemon adventure is Pokemon Legends Arceus. One of the coolest aspects of the new game is that trainers aren't just in the gotta catch 'em all mindset. Now players can ride their Pokemon to ride, to fly on, or to run with them. It is an entirely different way to interact with the pocket monsters that they've come to know and love through the years, and will giving fans even more freedom to roam their heart's content. There's a lot more in this article. I'm not going to read it all, but so basically what it breaks down to is that this is a different type of Pokemon. It's not an RPG. It's more in the vein of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Do you own a Switch at all? Mm-mm. No? Okay. Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of those games that is a must play, I feel like, for anybody. And the fact that they're making a Pokemon game out of that is in that vein, actually, that's why I brought this up, is because it actually really excites me. I think
It sounds like it would be a really fun one.
well, and it's so
I'd probably be more keen to play it if it was open world.
yeah, and just watching like here, let's do this. Are you looking at my stream right now at all? Do you have it up at
Yeah.
all? Okay, so I'm gonna play the video that's with it, and
All right.
it gives a good view of what's going on with this game. So here, check this out. Oops. I like to play videos every once in a while.
This is a tale from a long, long
It makes
time
things interesting.
ago, when the Sinnoh region was still only a vast wilderness. A certain village bustled with the comings and goings of people, while in the mountains and seas, Pokemon roamed as they pleased.
I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool. Like, once they get past this and show some actual gameplay, it's about a 2-minute video. Got some little Pokemons there. Very Breath of the Wild animation.
Yeah, it is.
And I think they're trying to point out that they give you a male and female protagonist you can go with.
Which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I always love the variety. I always play female. Always. I don't know why.
You'd be surprised how many guys do that.
I mean, I'd rather stare at a chick all day than a dude, you know? At the end of the day.
That's usually the reasoning.
Although both those characters look very similar. It looks like they just put a wig on the dude and called it a chick.
Yeah, this dude is kind of androgynous. Pull off drag if you wanted. So it looks like okay.
I like the Pokeballs too. They're like wood and have a clasp on the
cool.
front.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how that would work as far as catching Pokemon if it's got a manual clasp, but we don't have to get into that right now. Alright. Okay. Coming out
Interesting.
early next year is what it's saying. Yeah, I don't know. I think that looks really cool.
Might have to get my flatmate a Switch because I know he absolutely is over the moon for Pokemon.
And the other announcement they had too. It's been a Pokemon announcement week. I don't know why, but both Sony and Nintendo had a direct and Sony had a state of play, and they both had a lot of announcements. I thought the state of play was kind of lame, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, this Pokemon Direct that they did, they also mentioned that they're releasing Diamond and Pearl, remaking it and re-releasing it on Switch as well, which are very popular Pokemon games, some of people's favorites. So there's a lot of good Pokemon news this week if you're into that. But this to me was particularly interesting, just because I'm such a huge Breath of the Wild fan. This looks like something entirely new for Pokemon. I was not a huge fan of the Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee and the way that they went in that direction with Pokemon. And I'm glad that they're, instead of like trying to rehash that into something, they're actually going and doing something new. Like, this looks like to me the evolution, no pun intended, of Pokemon, where where games are always constantly, I know, right? That's bad. Games are constantly evolving, and this one right here is what? Wait, what? Cow.
I'm gonna throw a cow at you.
Cow. Oh, okay. Fair. I'll take it. I'll take any stuffed animals you want to throw my way. Actually, no, I don't really do stuffed animals.
I tend to throw cows at people who give really bad puns.
Okay, fair enough. Well, get ready for this one, baby. No, I'm just kidding. But it looks like literally like the next step in Pokemon. This is what I always imagined future Pokemon's looking, but they continue to make traditional, basically RPG Pokemons. You know what I mean? Instead of actually kind of progressing the series, they just kind of remade the same thing all the way since the original Game Boy. If you look at the new Switch game, it's literally the same thing, just better graphics. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm really excited to see them actually taking Pokemon and taking that next step and doing something new and fun with it. So I'm actually pretty into what's going on there. So All right. So let's go to the next topic here. It is you're gonna like this one. You're gonna like this one because I heard you mention that you have been playing this game, and I am remiss not to talk about it at some point on my stream because it appears to be the biggest thing on Steam right now. And the name of this article is Steam's biggest new hit is Viking survival game that struck like a bolt of blue lightning. And this is by Sean Holster from The Verge.
5 million people playing at this point, I think.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane how big this game. You already know what I'm talking about. Valheim, if you haven't caught on yet.
Yep.
So the other day I saw a game named Valheim atop the Steam Early Access list sales charts with overwhelming positive reviews. And I thought friends might like it too, so I wasn't ready to commit quite yet. I waffled on it for a while before giving it a go. Know who bought it a while. I was making up my mind. 1 million other people. On February 10th, just 8 days after launch, indie developer Iron Gate announced that Valheim had already sold 1 million copies. 5 days after that, Valheim reached 2 million in sales, and on Friday, February 19th, 2 days after we originally published the post, it hit 3 million in sales. We're now at 4 million as of February 24th, and you said 8 million now?
5.
5 million? Okay, so it's up to 5
I think
million.
they're at 5. I can check real quick just by opening Steam because they release
Updates on that. So,
yeah, give me
yeah, give that a check real quick. So this is a long in-depth article about the game.
4 million
4 million.
as of
This is the 24th.
released it. That was the 24th, yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably up even more from it. It's probably closer to 5 or 6 million. It's a $20 game. So why don't you give us the rundown on this game real quick and what it is?
Okay.
Because the numbers are astonishing for an indie. Astonishing.
Take Rust, take Minecraft, take 7 Days to Die, all your survival games, okay? You dropped in the middle of nowhere, you got nothing, okay? Put absolutely gorgeous graphics, put a bit of plot to it, because there's actually a reason that you're where you are. You died.
Yeah.
You're in Valheim now.
Oh,
okay?
okay.
You didn't go to Valhalla. You didn't get back onto Earth. You have to prove to Odin you're worthy.
So this is like purgatory.
Yeah, you're in purgatory.
Okay.
And the bad guys that you're fighting are the people who ended up not being worthy at all and are stuck there forever.
Oh, interesting.
So there's bosses to fight. There are architectural, structural integrity physics in this game.
So
You can't exactly chop down a tree without making sure you're chopping it in the right direction, or that tree will kill you.
Oh.
It will knock over its friend, and its friend will come attack you. It just...
Damn.
They domino.
That's intense.
It's amazing. If you build a structure, you can't just build straight up. You have to have, support structure in place, or it will just collapse.
Oh.
Now, that doesn't hurt you. You just collect your materials and do it again. But if you're up there,
Yeah.
and by the way, your added weight does add to that structure.
Oh.
So you can't put your iron ingots at the top of a tower. You better put those on the floor because they're bloody heavy.
Okay. So everything has a weight and everything. That's crazy for a survival game. That's
It's
nuts.
insane.
Wow.
Like the amount of thought process that goes into structure building alone, which in a survival game, that's part of it.
Yeah.
You got to be able to build a shelter.
Yeah.
And there's crops that they're still putting in more. I really, really wish I could do certain crops, but that might make the game a bit OP. I want to be able to cultivate thistles.
Well, hold on. Are the thistles in the game?
Yeah, thistles are in the game. You have to go hunt them down.
Oh, okay.
They're out in the wild.
Oh, okay.
You just can't put them in a farm plot.
Oh, so it's like, do you have to go collect different seeds to plant them? Then is that the deal? Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
That
Just like in
seems-
Minecraft, you got to collect those seeds first, and then you can plant them in your farm.
I have a confession to make. I don't really like survival games. It's not my thing.
This game it's more than just survival. It really, really
It's
is.
like the tagline of every survival game ever made.
No, I'm serious because it actually has a progression.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you start in a meadows biome. And in order to get the equipment you need to survive fighting the next biome's boss, you have to beat the first biome boss.
Okay.
And that makes building and prepping and your ability to collect the resources from the next biome. Like, you kill the first boss, you get hard antlers, which makes you able to collect stone, which means you can upgrade from building with wood to stone, which
Okay.
means you can protect yourself better.
Interesting.
And you can build better arrows to kill bigger monsters. You go into the next biome, which is the Black Forest.
Yeah.
And you spend a lot of time in that one.
Well, my question is there
Because-
is there like a PvP element to this too, or you just...
Yes, you can. However, you can turn it on and off.
Okay.
It is your choice whether you are included in PvP or not.
Okay.
So if someone else has their PvP enabled, if you don't, they can't touch you.
Okay. Can they mess with your structures though? Can they come like raid
don't
your
believe
farm
so.
or whatever if it's, or your whole little...
The servers are limited to 10 people. So you can kick them off. If someone's being a troll and you don't want that, off they go.
So is it like your own personal server you make basically, and then people can
Yeah.
come in and do their thing and... Okay.
There are
Interesting.
public servers, but 99% of the people are just getting private servers for themselves and their friends because it's so limited.
Okay. Well, Azari's asking if there's any way you can win the game. Or is it just an endless grind?
We haven't gotten to that point yet.
Okay.
We're only on the 5th boss.
Okay.
We're getting there. We just beat the mountain boss, which now we're prepping to go after the guy on the plains. And the plains are terrifying. The plains have flying, and I kid you not, the name is a death mosquito.
A death
There's
skeeto.
a flying mosquito the size of a bloody frickin' vulture,
That's my nightmare.
and they can one or two shot you
That's
if
my
you're
nightmare.
not careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Being one shot by a giant mosquito is what I dream about when I'm having the worst type of dreams. You know what I mean? Like it's not even funny. Mosquitoes are the worst. They're blood-sucking animals, and if they're coming at you and they're the size of a vulture, nah, I'm out. No, thank you.
They're nasty, but they drop these wonderful things called needles that make the most incredible arrows that
Okay.
will make me one-shot anything else.
Okay. Are they
So
hard to
don't
kill?
mind
Like,
shooting them.
Are they
No.
pretty squishy?
They're actually really easy to kill.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's not too
They're
bad.
glass cannons.
Oh, okay.
The mobs are very balanced, surprisingly. Like the trolls are a pain in the butt because they're huge and they hit like Mack trucks.
Oh, okay.
But they are big, lumbering oafs, so they are slow.
Oh, okay.
So you can dodge them.
So it's just
So
a
it's
very
like they go
well
to swing, you just go,
balanced
whoop!
experience.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
It is. It's a very, very balanced. Now, if you dumb and wander off at night, and you're not prepared, and you don't have, you haven't eaten, so your health is up there and your stamina's up there.
Yeah.
You're gonna get overwhelmed.
Interesting.
So that's a thing that you have to keep an eye on: is do I have food? Okay, I've got the energy to take
Is
care of
food
this.
your life then, basically?
You can get food from almost anything.
Well, no,
you can
I
pick
guess
it up off the ground.
I'm just wondering, is like food your life bar essentially? Like, if you're
Yes.
Okay.
The better food that you eat, the bigger your life bar.
Oh,
By
okay.
default, you have 25 hit points and 3 units of stamina.
Okay.
And if you're mining, you're using stamina. If you're sprinting, you're using stamina. Firing your bow, if you hold your bow drawn,
Yeah.
you're draining your stamina.
Okay. Interesting. Dude, this sounds
And-
super in depth.
It is. It's more in depth than you'd imagine it to be, but it's intuitively in depth. It's where you expect things to be.
Yeah. Oh.
You don't expect someone to be able to build a flat bridge
Yeah.
and have it be stable. Now, if you build that flat bridge and you have a couple of trusses, a couple of support beams, you're good to go.
So do you need to build bridges to get into certain areas then as well?
No, you use boats.
Okay. Interesting. Dude, that's way too much. I don't know if I can handle that. I really don't.
It's honestly, I'm telling you, it's not a deep investment try it.
Try it. Okay.
You will find yourself immersed in the world.
Okay.
And it is a lot of fun because there is a goal at the end. We haven't gotten there yet.
But there is something at the end.
There is something at the
Is
end.
it like a raid, maybe?
And I don't know. I honestly don't know what that last boss is. And we just fought a massive dragon. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, just massive dragon. And it was an absolute bitch.
Yeah. So.
But we went and we built up and we got our potions and stuff like that. There is a bit of magic in the form of meads. You brew mead to give you specific things. You could give yourself poison resistance or extra stamina or less hunger or something like that. Fire resistance, things like that. And that's all part of
what
your
you do.
home.
Okay.
You build your homestead and you work from there.
Okay, interesting. And you just
as
kind of work your way
progress,
out, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just explore your way out, bring everything back to the home, build everything up. You want to stay in the meadows.
Yeah.
That's where it's safe.
Okay. And then everywhere else is just trying to kill you, pretty much.
Well, no, everything's trying to kill you everywhere, but the smallest monsters exist in the meadows.
Fair.
You can punch most of the enemies in the meadows to death without dying.
So
even if you haven't eaten.
one last thing if you could wrap this game up, because let's wrap up this conversation real quick, because we got one last thing to go over. What would you say about this game, like to sell somebody on it?
If you like challenging yourself to build massive structures, bring it on.
Yeah.
If you like hunting against ever increasing odds, do it. If you like Vikings, do it.
Fair.
It's not just a survival game on this one. It actually does have an actual plot.
Okay.
And there is an end in sight. I just haven't gotten there yet to tell you what it is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard really good things about this game, so it's cool to hear someone who actually has some sort of inside knowledge on the game is actually deeply involved in it. That's very cool. All right.
I don't even know how many hours I have in it now.
Take a look real quick. Look on your Steam.
Let me
It'll
see
tell you.
here. 161 hours.
Whoa, that is 1 or 2 hours into that game. That is crazy. That's good. That's really cool. That's very cool.
Not as much as my mate Statics.
Oh yeah. Well, people are dumping hours into it. There's 10,000 years or something of people playing that game so far. Something crazy like that. So
He did 119 straight.
119 hours straight of that game.
Yes.
That's
in that
unhealthy.
game.
Don't do that. Anyone out there
No,
watching this, don't ever do that. Go to bed.
That's
Eat
normal
your
for
food.
him.
Is that the same guy that
But
I watched who
he's-
did who's doing a 36-hour stream or whatever?
Yeah, he kept going.
Jesus. No, that's I can't.
does
That's
that.
so unhealthy. I can't.
He does it about once a week. He'll
Wow.
do a big long stream like that, and then he'll take about 2-3 days to recover, and then he does it again.
That's insane.
That's just how he streams.
I don't know. That takes some dedication right there.
Oh yeah, he's amazing though. He's heaps fun.
So, moving right along,
Okay.
so Sony did their state of play this week. You're not a big Sony person, are you? With a PlayStation or anything like that?
I'm not a big console girl.
Okay, you're on
I
PC.
only just got my Xbox a few months ago.
So this should be interesting then. So what I'm going to do, and I love doing this on my show, I'm going to go through and I'm going to state what they talked about in the state of play, and then I want you to give your quick 20-second opinion on it. And if you have no opinion, you can just be like, I have no opinion on that. But
Okay.
let's see where this goes, and we can kind of bust through this real quick. And then that'll probably be the end of the show. So, and then we're going to be playing Warzone? No, we're not playing Warzone. We're playing Cold War Zombies. So it should be a lot of fun. So the first thing they showed in the State of Play, Sony State of Plays, is Crash Bandicoot 4 is coming to PS5 in native 4K and 60 frames per second. Does that do anything for you?
Wow. That's pretty cool, actually. I'm hoping they upgraded the graphics enough to handle that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. For Crash Bandicoot? Dude, it's like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very nice.
Absolutely. Are you a Crash Bandicoot fan?
I've played it before a long time ago, like
Okay.
the original.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and they actually
But
just
that was years ago.
well, they just released the trilogy. They re-released the PlayStation trilogy on PS4, and then they made a fourth game in that same vein. So it's cool stuff. All right. Returnal is the next big game on display. It's a third-person action game that casts you as an astronaut exploring dangerous alien worlds. Have you heard anything about that?
I have not heard anything about it, but it sounds interesting.
Okay. Let's see. Next, they talked about Knockout City, a team-based sports game for control over a ball and the best of your foes using a number of skills, which seems tied to the character you choose. So it's basically a dodgeball game, but on crack.
Interesting. So, Valorant dodgeball.
Yeah, here,
Gotcha.
Here. We gotta check this out real quick, because this is one of those games
that sounds intriguing.
It's pretty cool. All right, we'll bring this over.
Mute so I can hear the screen.
Hi, I'm Josh from Bellin Studios. We're an indie developer based in upstate New York, and we recently announced Knockout City, a team-based multiplayer action game for PS4 where rival crews settle their scores with epic dodgeball battles. Knockout City is easy to pick up and play. There's a lot of depth here for those who've got the skills.
I personally saw this and said, what the fuck?
Face-off mode, you go head-to-head in a
I don't know.
battleground relying on your reflexes and abilities.
It looks like Fortnite with dodgeballs.
A well-timed catch powers up the ball, making it easier to land a hit.
A bit. And graphic-wise, it's definitely
Use trick
Fortnite-like.
shots to lob the ball
for sure.
over a ledge or hook it around a corner. Fake a throw to mess up your opponent's timing and knock them out before they can recover. When you're in a tough spot with a ball flying your way, a last-second dodge is the difference between getting knocked out and staying in the fight. Keep your wits about you and outplay your opponent to bring home a win.
All right, that's enough of that. Just give you an idea of what was that about.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I don't know what to think of that.
It does. It looks like Valorant dodgeball.
Yeah, it looks crazy. So I'm kind of into that. Sifu is a stylish combat game inspired by Asian action films. It debuts in 2021 and doesn't look quite like any other game out there. This game was interesting because did you ever watch the Daredevil show on Netflix? You know the scene in the hallway where it's like all one shot and he's just beating the shit out of those guys? And it's like going down a hallway.
There's multiple scenes like that.
Yeah, that's what this game looks like it is. It looks like a giant game just like that. And it's coming to Steam as well. So if you want to check that out, it's worth it.
You said it's called Sifu?
Yeah, Sifu.
Yeah.
Check it out real
It's
quick.
a word for teacher.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's nothing on search for that.
Oh, really? I thought I saw it on the
Yeah.
Steam. Maybe I saw it on Epic. It might be on Epic.
Have a look on Epic.
I thought it was coming to PC as well. No? Is that a PlayStation exclusive? Sifu. Sifu, Urban Dictionary. PC. Yeah, it's on PC. Interesting. Yeah, it's Epic. It's an Epic game.
Okay. Second here.
And then, while you're looking that up, Machine Hearts. Do you know that studio? Or have you heard of that game? It's the team behind Hyperloop Drifter. Okay, Machine Hearts is actually the publisher. The team behind Hyperloop Drifter is now hard at work at Solar Ash, a colorful action game relies on simpler fluid combat and performing you to guide the protagonist on a quest to save her sinking animated planet.
Interesting.
Yeah. They announced the new Five Nights at Freddy's game. I don't know if you're into those at all.
No, not really. But I'm familiar with them.
Let's see. Oddworld Soulstorm is a 2.9D platformer, which differs from a 2.5D, isn't yet clear, but players will find out in this ambitious platformer with a distinctive aesthetic. Are you an Oddworld fan at all?
Yes.
Okay.
I do like Oddworld.
So they're making a new game, very much in the vein of their old one. It's just a platformer. It looks pretty cool. Kina, Bridge of Spirits is a third-person action game with colorful acoustics inspired by East Asian fantasy. So another kind of East Asian type of game.
I see what you're talking about with seafood.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Maybe I should just pull it up. Look it up on your own time, peeps. We've watched enough videos today. You get all the videos you got for today. Deathloop is the last Bethesda published game on PlayStation platform. Hard to say. But we know it looks like an incredibly stylish first-person action shooter game. So have you heard of Deathloop?
I have not.
Oh, that's going to be a PlayStation exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. Looks very cool. Very stylish, very fun. And then Final Fantasy Remake will get a significant expansion. June 10th, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrated will debut and put you in the boots of a beloved ninja, Yuffie, who's coming back, and a meaty piece of DLC complete with 2 brand new playable characters. Are you a Final Fantasy fan?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you're talking about my girl here.
Yeah, Yuffie. Well, she's finally coming to Final Fantasy VII. And they're making it, I believe, I have a feeling this is coming to PC and Xbox as well. Let me see. Integrated Square Enix is going to be coming to anything but PlayStation. I don't know. I can't tell. Let's see. Let's do Xbox. No. Port possibly leaked. So there's a potential that it's going to be on Xbox and probably PC coming up. But yeah, they're basically just re-releasing the last year's Final Fantasy VII Remake with new DLC and better graphics. So that should be very interesting. You probably never got a chance to play that, did you? Being stuck on the old PC.
Final Fantasy VII?
The new one, the remake.
No, I haven't played the remake.
Good.
No,
so good.
I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard.
It's amazing. You fight a house. That's all I'm gonna say. You fight a house, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so I think that's. I think we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it. I like to keep these close to an hour. So I just want to thank you so much for being here. This is awesome. Let me go through my outro
it's been a
here.
Pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You've been a great guest on the show. I just want to thank you for watching Chatterday I just want to thank you for watching this week's episode of Chatterday. Thanks to our guest KalaTheFox. At this point I'd like to ask you what your schedule is for streaming so that you can kind of plug yourself here.
I stream Wednesday morning through Sunday mornings. 1:30 a.m. to about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Central Standard Time.
Nice. So we're right in your stream time here. We thank you for being here during your stream time. I do appreciate that.
Oh no, we're not there yet.
Oh no.
I usually start at about 15.
Oh well, this is perfect then. This is absolutely perfect timing then. If you missed some of this episode, you can find it on YouTube. Just search for Dave_Loudon. Don't have time to watch the video? I got you covered. Just type Chatterday into Apple Podcasts or SoundCloud and you can listen to it there. Make sure to like and subscribe though. I hope you all have an awesome day and stick around for some awesome Cold War action. We're going to be playing the new zombies. So we will see you all next Chatterday. Throw the moose. Throw the thing because get it? Instead of Saturday, I said Chatterday. Yeah, there you go. There we go. I love it. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you next week.